Welcome to part 47. We are back in the Spirit Temple. We are now going to do the adult section. Oh, that didn't sound right. We're going to do Adult Link's part of the Spirit Temple. Yeah, that sounds better. Yep. And yes, folks, now that we have the power of silver, we can push this big old block and, yeah. See how mighty Link is? That little tiny guy pushing this big old block thanks to the silver gauntlets. And eventually it will fall into a hole and we can now proceed. Now, of course, we have another blade trap, and there is a big Beamos in the room. Again, it takes 2 bombs to kill these things. So, yeah. So, what should I call these things? Big Beamos and small Beamos? Beamos Jr. for the small ones? Who knows? Anyway, once the Beamos is out of the way, there's a crystal switch on the ceiling, and you should take the long shot and just, well, trigger it. It will unseal both doors, and what we want to do is go to the door on the right. Why? Well, because going that way, it will get us a small key to unlock the middle door. Now, how to proceed in this room? Well, oh look! Silver rupees! Oh, I'm so excited! I cannot wait to collect them! Joy! Alright, the gimmick with getting the silver rupees in this room is, there are boulders rolling back and forth across the room. 4 of the silver rupees are in these small alcoves that you can reach by just walking into them. The 5th one is hovering in midair, and you need to use the hover boots in order to successfully make it across, or if you're lucky, you can jump across it. Just simply jump. By the way, there's one hovering in midair for no reason or another. And of course, make sure you get the regular boots on for traction. And notice how you collect these silver rupees. Notice how you enter each one of these alcoves, the camera angles automatically change for some reason. It's kind of odd. Anyway, here, as you probably hear, there is a Skulltula noise, which means there is a gold Skulltula present. And it is actually behind this time block, so just play the Song of Time to move the time block from one alcove to another alcove. And then we'll just go inside and kill the gold Skulltula and steal its token. Yay. Alright. Now, of course, by moving the time block to the other alcove, we've blocked access to the last silver rupee we need to get. So, it's just as simple as going over to that alcove, playing the Song of Time, and moving the time block back to its original spot. So, that's how it's done. This room shouldn't be too bad. You can dodge the boulders easily. And again, if you get hit, they only take like a portion of your heart health off, so no worries. And again, once we collect all the silver rupees, the door will unseal, and we can proceed into the next room. Now, in the next room, there will be a like that will drop from the ceiling on the right side. So go left. Don't let it drop onto you. Again, you're still wearing the Hylian shield, and this thing loves it. They love to eat Hylian shields. But thanks to the bigger on sword, one sword swipe, and it's dead. I love this sword. And of course, inside the chest is the small key. Yay. We're done with this section. Let's move on. Now, when we get back to the room that has the Beamos, because it will respawn, we're going to go to the door on the left before we unlock the middle door. Why? Because going to the door on the left will get us the compass, so we can reveal all the goodies, all the treasure chests, both visible and invisible. So, yeah. Now, before we get to the compass, first we have to defeat a Wolfos. And again, these things are so easy. They're a joke at this point. They are a complete joke. Alright, next step. There's a Triforce symbol right here on the floor, so just whip out the good old Ocarina and play Zelda's Lullaby. And of course, there is the treasure chest that contains the compass. Whee! Yay, got a compass. Whoop-de-doo, freaking do. Oh, and by the way, folks, this is the last compass that we are going to acquire in the game. And yeah. Oh, now we could get back across the room by walking in the sand, or you can just do what I just did. Use the long shot, latch on to these stone bricks, and just pull yourself across. You know, it's going to be useful much later, trust me. And careful, there's a like that will drop from the ceiling too, and there are 2 moving pots. Yeah, no trouble. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, this is the last dungeon of this game that we will get a compass and a dungeon map. So yeah, we're almost done with this game. Can you believe it? I'm tearing up right now. Are you? This is a great game, despite its things. Oh yeah, now this room right here. First, this room contains an invisible floor master, so again, Navi will help actually point it out by hovering over it because he's all powerful. And then again, of course, slash it, and then afterwards immediately use Den's Fire to kill the 3 smaller floor masters before they suck life out of you and grow into bigger floor masters. Yeah. Alright, now the gimmick with this room here after you kill the floor master is there are 4 sun switches, and we have to reflect the light from the mirror onto the sun switches. Now, when you go to the wrong sun switch, it will either drop down, like the first 2 sun switches will drop down to chests. The third will be the correct sun switch, and we can proceed. And if you want to, you can move to the 4th sun switch, but don't. It will be a wall master, and it will come down and snatch you. Anyway, the chests there that drop right there, one of them is a recovery heart, the first one actually. The second is pretty much a booby trap chest. Yeah, we're now dealing with booby trap chests, so be aware of that. Anyway, we are now back in the main chamber. We are now back in the central chamber. We were here before as Young Link. Now, if you did not get the dungeon map earlier, you can still get it now. It doesn't really matter. So, but what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go on this palm right here where the Triforce symbol is, and again, play Zelda's Lullaby. Now, it will produce a chest on the other hand, and it will bring down the chest on the little platform area to my left right now. Alright, why chest on that platform? You'll see. And then what you can do is you can just long shot over, use the long shot on that chest to go over. And speaking of long shotting items, I can't believe Nintendo actually put this in. I mean, I've read this somewhere. I don't know if it's exactly true or not. But you can actually long shot the nipple area of the statue's breast. This is what I've read. I've read it somewhere. I haven't tried it myself in this playthrough, but yeah, apparently you can latch on to the statue's breast. And I will be moving on from that subject. Speaking of latching onto things, there is a gold skulltula in that little wall over there, and of course it's a little too far for us to get over there on our own, so again we have to rely on good old Pierre. And then of course this is the final gold skulltula in the dungeon, so we've collected them all. Goody. And of course that treasure chest that was on the other hand, that was one for a small key, so yeah. Alright, there's actually something I want to do here before I leave the central chamber for right now. Again, playing this Zelda's Lullaby will produce the chest that contains a small key, and it will produce another chest that's across this room right here. Now we can use the long shot to get across the gap, and there is actually a, well, first of all, there's 5 rupees in there, but yeah. And the switch right here, it's another rusted switch, so we must bring out the Megaton Hammer. Alright, and using the Megaton Hammer, we will unseal a door in the middle of this room right here. So let's go check out this room that we've just uncovered. In fact, it might be a good idea just to uncover this room, because when we get inside this door right here, we will encounter two of these big old Mega Blocks that we have to push until they fall into the holes. And at the end of this little passageway is another rusted switch that we have to use the Megaton Hammer. And by pressing this rusted switch, the floor next to me, the floor that's near the switch, it will start moving upwards and down like an elevator. In fact, it is an elevator that will take us directly back to the first room of the dungeon. So, if by some chance anything happens to Link during this temple, we have a nice shortcut that will take us from the first room of this dungeon back to the central chamber. Yeah. But I'm not going to use it. It's just a just in case thing, you know, in case I screw up somewhere, but I don't screw up during this temple, so yeah. Alright, we're done. That's all we can do for right now in the central chamber. So we can move on and continue upward. Yeah, this temple is almost a mirror image. Almost. I mean, some of the rooms are different, some of the layouts are different, but for the most part, it's almost identical to a Child Link section, like almost a mirror image. Oh goody, a Beamos. The small Beamos, that is. You know, the one that takes one thing to, you know, destroy. You know, realistically, I can just skip the Beamos and head on upward, but and besides, this pod contains a refill of bombs anyway. Alright. Now this room here contains another Beamos and 3 more of those Anubis enemies. And now that we have access to fire arrows, we're just going to shoot them with fire arrows. We're just going to kill them. No bothering with Din's fire here. And of course that switch right over there, that's another one of those switches that if you step on it, it will bring a fire trap for us to lure the Anubis in, because again, the Anubis mimics your moves, like mirrors your moves essentially. Of course, make sure you aim carefully. There we go. Yeah, Navi, I can see that. Watch out! Yeah, of course, all those little sound effects Navi has in the beginning. It's like, hey, look, watch out! I mean, yeah, I can see that, Navi. I mean, yeah. Me, at least Tattle in Majora's Mask had a little ding 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 ding, but even then she didn't do that often. So, yeah. Alright, this room right here, there's a blue switch right there, which means it's a pressure switch, which means something has to stay down on it. And of course, those 4 statues are all Armos. They're all living. So in order to trigger the switch, shoot an arrow at this Armos that I just did. He'll go over towards you, and on the way, he will step on the switch. And at that point, quickly go through the door. And of course, go up this room right here, and boy, getting deja vu right here. We've been this way before. And of course, up here is another Iron Knuckle. Now, it's the same fight as before, except this time, I'm an adult, I am bigger, and I have access to a stronger sword. See, I pretty much annihilate this guy, no problem, in just a few slashes. Thanks to the good old Bigoron sword. And see? Pansy. Anyway, now we're going to get the treasure from the Adult Links section. The Adult Links portion, I mean. Yeah. And of course, that means we'll be outside, back in the Desert Colossus again. And of course, again, well, I never said this when I first got into the child section. If you fall off, you will fall off back into the section. You have to go back in from the front, and that sucks. Well, anyway, folks, we got the Mirror Shield. The Mirror Shield is a fantastic shield. I like the design of it. It's all shiny and pretty. And here's the good news, folks. Because it's a one-of-a-kind shield, because it's a unique shield, Likes will not digest it. They'll gobble you up, and as long as you wear the Kokiri tunic and the mirror shield, it will not take either one. Yay! Alright, now that we have the mirror shield in hand, we are now back inside the Spirit Temple because we're going to put it to use in just a bit. Of course, there are a couple of hidden small treasure chests right here, invisible, that both have recovery hearts. I'm guessing they're there because it's either before or after the Iron Knuckle fight because, yeah. Anyway, here, we're going to go over here to this beam of light, and using the mirror shield, we will reflect the light onto the sun face. And then when the sun face is all happy and smiley, the door will unseal, and it will take us to a small key. See, no traps here, just a small key. Just grab it, and we will move on. Now we have to find the boss key and the way to the boss. And that's our goal from now on. Now, from here, we're going to go back into the room where we face the Beamos and the Anubis things. And we're going to go through that locked door right there. Because it will take us to a new room. And this room can be hard, or it can be easy, depending on how you want to do it. And, well, after you kill these Beamos right here, along the wall there are stone climbing steps. And some sections are still, and others are moving back and forth towards these spiked walls. Now you can risk climbing up these stone walls, or you could do what I do, take out the good old long shot, point at the very top of the stone wall, which is stationary, and bam! That was easy. And, yeah. But of course, for those of you who want the challenge and want to climb up using those movable stone wall portions, feel free to. Be my guest. But me, I'm going to take the easy way out. I mean, if I see opportunity, I will take it. Thank you very much. Alright, here we are. We are in this room here, and we have another Triforce symbol. So, yeah. So the Gerudo like the Triforce, or I thought they hate the Triforce, or the Golden Goddesses and everything associated with it. Oh well. Anyway, the doors unseal, and basically when we get into the door in front of us, not the one up the stairs, the one in front of us right here, we will enter a room reminiscent of the Fire Temple. I mean, we have fire slugs, we have a chest covered in fire, and we have fake doors. Man. So, yeah. And of course, once we eliminate the fire slugs, we will destroy the fake doors using bombs or the Megaton Hammer, and one of these doors will have an eye switch for us to shoot. And by shooting the eye switch, it will reveal a platform that is just below a hookshot target, and we will long shot up to said platform, where we jump to a platform that has a switch on it, and then by pressing the switch, we will douse the flame, and we will get the boss key. Alright. And this is our second to last boss key of the game. Second! Yep, the final dungeon does have a boss key. And thankfully these platforms and the switch are permanent, because I don't hear that usual yeah, that stupid timer thing. It makes me want to panic, makes me lose my concentration. Okay. I'm over it. Okay. I'm cool. I mean, when I played Ganon's Castle, when I went through Ganon's Castle, I mean, there were a lot of these timers and ticking things clocking down, but I'm cool. I'm good. Alright, let's go up the stairs and into the door, and we will enter another room right here that has a big old mirror right down there. Now, what you want to do here is either use a spin attack, or just use Biggoron's sword to slash through the bars and hit the switch and open the door. I love this sword. Anyway, going through these set of rooms here. First, we want to kill the enemies. The first room contains a lizard foe. The second room contains bubbles, but these are known as white bubbles because they don't have any of the other colors of the other bubbles, and they're just regular old skulls. And these things are easy to kill. You can shoot one arrow, no, actually 2 arrows will do it, and one swipe of Bigoron sword will take care of them, no problem. Now, after they are dead, you can use you can blow up this boulder right here. That'll take us to our third room, which will contain another lizardfoal, which we can take care of, no problem. And after we kill it, we will proceed to solving this little puzzle of this room. Basically, as you see right now, there's a beam of light from the ceiling that is shining on a mirror. Our goal is to move the beam of light to this mirror that I just killed, of the room that I just killed a lizardfoal in. And then, once we shine the beam of light to that mirror, we'll take the mirror that I just shone light onto through those bars into the room that has the mirror. You know, the first room I had to enter, the room that had the flying pots. So, yeah. And of course, I see on my screen to the right, there's a treasure chest, but I'm not going to bother at this point. I'm almost done. And of course, when we re-enter the room, the light will be shining on the mirror. And of course, be careful, flying pots are everywhere. Everywhere in this little section. I mean, when we jump down here, flying pots will immediately go towards you. Some will hit the chains, others I had to block with my shield. So, yeah. So who made these flying pots anyway? What possessed them to actually... Yeah, anyway, once all the flying pots are destroyed, take the mirror shield and reflect the sunlight onto the sun switch. The sun face guy who loves sun. He's so happy that he gets sun. And by doing so, this platform will lower us all the way back down to the central chamber and taking the light with me. And now we can take our mirror shield and the light and put it straight at the Goddess of Sand's statue's face. And by prolonged exposure, the face will disintegrate, which will reveal a great door. And behind the grating will be the boss door. So yeah, this is our way into the boss room right here. So let's do this. Let's get ready. All right. Oh look, it's the witches. You know, the ones that captured Nabooru when we were a kid. And of course they had that stereotypical witch laugh. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble! Yeah, we know the drill. Anyway, they are outraged that I made it this far, and they're going to send their loyal minion towards me, which is another Iron Knuckle. But this one looks a bit different. It looks more colorful, and the headpiece seems different for some reason. Is there something about this Iron Knuckle that's special? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Funny. Anyway, this Iron Knuckle is pretty much easy, just like all the others. The axe will still hurt like crazy, and you can use the pillar, and pretty much it's not hard at all. The pillars, if it knocks it down, will contain hearts, and yeah. So once we defeat it, it's the armor will fall off. Disintegrate. Nabooru? Yes, folks, inside that suit of armor was Nabooru. And here's the story, folks. When the witches captured Nabooru 7 years ago, they brainwashed her into being Ganondorf's loyal minion. That's how she became the second in command to Ganondorf, and how she was stationed in the Spirit Temple. But since we defeated her in battle, she snapped out of it. She looked a little dazed, but the witches wanted to keep her a bit longer, so they decided to send her somewhere and re-brainwash her. So it's pretty obvious that the boss of the Spirit Temple are these witches right here, or bosses. And yeah, we're going to face these witches in part 48, and afterwards we will be reunited with an old friend. Are you excited? I'm so excited. Let's have some fun. See you later, folks.